to Engcobo, for example, we have what we call the Sisulu corridor. You follow that road as you are developing that. That means from Queenstown to Engcobo, let's make sure that we have what we call the major irrigation schemes within the region. But what are we doing about those irrigation schemes? The infrastructure towards that direction. And as you continue, you pass the Kofimbaba, we have your high rainfall area, which is your Engcobo area. That means you have a potential really to focus on the grains, in the production around your grains, and because of you have a potential land toward the direction. Our GIS team, I think, have done about, I think they've made about more than 100,000 hectares really that is available. Obviously, it is a communal land. When it's a communal land, it's not easy to finance through the commercial space, but working with the DFIs and finding a way really on how to finance that production towards that direction. That's a Sisulu corridor. Please proceed. And then when you continue, you have what we call the Ndondo corridor, that is from your Queenstown up to Elliot. So from Queenstown up to Elliot, you have it's a route that you are using there. Even the production is towards that direction. One, in that corridor, you have what we call your coal belt within the Emalahleni. We are working with council for, no, please go back. We are working with what we call the Council for Geoscience, of which they are really busy doing serious work. I think they've done phase 1 of the planning towards that coal. If you remember, I think a few years back, the Eliteni coal mine, I think it was, I think the province came and did really the launch towards that direction. But I think it's beyond that. We really need to do something about the coal we have in that. I think in the report they say it's an anthracite, which is kind of a high ash of the coal. That means there is a possibility that we can also do the power generation within the area. But we still need to go through the second phase of that. That means do a proper exploration towards that area. That's your Ndondo corridor. Not only the mine, you have your Klongla Dam, you have your Red Hub, working with the Dr. Da as you're continuing towards that direction. But again, around your Elliot and your Gala, it is one of the district MEC towards the transferring of the farms that has benefited a lot a few years back. We have more than 200 farms, which has more than 10,000 hectares of land for arable or for production. Your fodder, we're not supposed to struggle around the drought season because we're supposed to establish what we call the fodder bank within the region. But currently, really, we're doing about 9% capacity towards that, and that is not good. That means that's why our contribution it is not doing well towards the GDP. So that's the direction. And again, Chris Hani is really supposed to contribute towards the beef production. I think the whole Eastern Cape, you are about 3.5 million population of the beef throughout the region, throughout the province. And most of those, your Chris Hani, your geography, and your other areas as you are going towards that direction. But the challenge we are having is that we don't really deal about the management or the improvement or the quality of those animals. Thank you so much, ma'am. Let me just try. So what Mr. Zamuyenza, I don't want to just to mess up the consistency. And the challenge we are facing that our animals are moving towards the Free State side, and they come back to the retail. You understand, as steak. And what are we doing to improve that breed, or the quality of that breed between your Bonsmari and your others? We have partners that are already on board, and others have started already to make an investment of more than 5,000 of those animals for breeding and for backgrounding. And those areas really is supposed to support that direction. And the third one within that corridor, that is the Ndondo corridor, is a small livestock, which is the sheep, the wool production. We're taking our wool. I think there's a meeting where we said we're the second, I think, in the country. There's an area, I think, around on the way to Whitley, where we really the quality of our wool, we are the second throughout the country. But what are we doing about that wool? We're taking that wool to to PE. So I was saying to the industries, to our industrialists or to our business people, let's do something about that. And the safety, I think, working with Dr. Da and did it, we are starting now to do a feasibility study towards that direction. At least to do some secondary level of that production. That is your wool scaring or your wool processing component towards that direction. Now that's your no corridor. And then the last one that take us from Queenstown goes through your Stekstrom, Molteno, your Middleburg, your Beggars in that area, and then up to your Middleburg, Craddock, comes back to the Hofmeyer, to the Tekkerstad. Both your goat and your sheep is doing well into those areas because of the Karoo area. And I think our business people, our commercial farmers, they have what we call the Karoo meat when you get into that area. And really, what are we doing towards promotion of that or towards that investment into that direction? We have a great fish river that goes straight towards that direction. You have, I think one of the dairy farmer is producing about 200,000 liters of milk into it towards that direction. And, um, and, and, and one of our investors that are here, they're producing about 28 million liters, I think so, throughout from Ngoga, your Whitley, your Forte, your Kiskamawook, I don't know about some what is that? That means if in the country our contribution of milk is 2.8 billion liters in the country, is 2.8 billion liters. Now Amadelo alone, they are doing 28 million liters. I don't know if you understand. Am I right? I don't know if you understand the mathematics around there. It's only Amadelo. Others don't have the stats of others really around there. Your Craddock space and what the work that they are doing there. Your Cradle Dairy, I think they're somewhere. I think they're also doing really, really well. And I think, so our partners really want to move towards expansion. They want to do the processing facility because I think Amadero, they're taking their milk to Clover towards the Kucha direction. And we're saying, what can we do? I think they're busy doing a work. We had a meeting with them towards in partnership towards that direction. That means there are two component colleagues. One, it is, as MEC has said, that it's towards economic infrastructure. What are we doing around that direction? That's number one. That is at the hub level. Now, if we are positioning the Queenstown, if you're positioning the Queenstown as an economic hub, that means, as MEC has said, that we need to focus around our industrial park, that is your common industrial park, making sure that it must be an enabling environment for the businesses to come in. That's number one. Then number two, once you have that hub, how to make sure that the primary production infrastructure, that's a serious one. Because if you're going towards your dairy and so on, your irrigation infrastructure or your water network infrastructure becomes key and becomes crucial towards that direction. So that's a model we are proposing to our businesses to say within the common industrial park, your inputs, your logistics management, your processing value addition, and your mechanization, and then you have your production really through using those corridors for production, and then towards the direction of the industrial park. Please proceed. And the work we are doing, this is part of the work that we are doing. Our industrial park has about 780 hectares, I think so, in total. 778 hectares. Obviously, part of those hectares, they are private, others they are government owned, but that's an industrial park. And the work that we're doing, we started already doing some planning towards that direction. The first one is to deal with an issue around the EIA, that is the environmental impact assessment within the park. Number two, working with Inokim Gijima was to focus within this piece of land. If you see this piece of land, guys. Okay. Okay, let's just come again. You, we, oh, um, thanks so much. Sure, that's fine. And sorry, Chris, for this. I don't want to lose the focus. This part becomes key. Here we have your Queen Industria. And I think, as Emisi has said, that really they've started with an infrastructure that is your energy. Because challenges around the industrial park. One is your energy and its capacity. And two is your water infrastructure. And three is your access, which is your roads and so on. Whether it's your road or whether it's rail. These are the key, and your ICT infrastructure actually, for us really to make sure that we are ready. And our industrialists really have been working with us towards that direction. That is number one. And then obviously you have your wayside, and some of you have your Esbeleni industrial area. And then after that we have this space. This is about 249 hectares, this one. And the road, MEC, from East London, that is your N6 road, towards that direction. Queenstown is positioned around as a more of your logistic hub. That means you from easily from East London to Free State, from Queenstown to Cape Town, from Queenstown to Amtata, and how do we position it really even towards that direction as your logistics component of it. So part of our engineers, I think your technical studies, they've studied it, your town planners really making sure that the subdivision within the whole park, and the Inokim Kishima really takes care component around the insurance of the asset and so on. And that's the work which we are doing. And the challenge, MEC, I think I like as we are here, when we met with one of industrialists, I think the one that deals with your automotive, they said they are moving about 40 tons of steel per week. 40 tons of steel per week. In other words, it says that our rail, it needs to come back again alive. Obviously, you have our rail is still working with your cement. I don't know if you see the guys that are in the cement space. I don't know whether it's after 2 weeks' time. So we need to find a way of negotiating to say, let's have some other courage that is going to deal with your steel, going to deal with your fertilizer blending. Obviously, the minister is still coming, but let me say, she has funded a very interesting part of your agri inputs within that. Your fertilizer blending plant, I think, is busy, is under manufacturing. And the urea because we don't have a urea within the province, that means you need to get the urea from outside. But the urea that needs to come through, it must, whether we use the rail or something like that. When we're busy with the production, we pick it up that sometimes even the lime can be, to transport the lime is expensive more than the actual lime. I don't know if you understand, colleagues. And if you really want to manage the production infrastructure or capacity, we need to deal with that. Of which I think there's really an exciting work, both the DD8 and also and the department of nationally that have dealt with us around that one, around the agri inputs and its financing side of it. So that rail and the partnership with the Transnet Freight Rail and your port of South Africa. That means from that side of your hub, because you don't have, they have what we call the coastal grain terminal. From that end, I think that it has about more than 4 million tons capacity within that. And we are saying if that can be revived, so that we link the grains from our side, and that will take you through outside the region. Please proceed. I think no, just proceed. This one, I think. No, these are just part of our investors. This one, he will be connecting online. He's in Germany. He wants to focus with the renewable infrastructure, that is your solar panels, and but it's both your solar panel and your agri solar, something like that. So I think they will be around on the 29th and the 30th of June, because they'll be visiting both the 40 hectares of our industrial park and Cradock. I think Middleburg and Cradock and Fremantle. I think that will be the last one. I think these are the sites that we've identified. So they are preparing themselves towards the investment summit, I think, but they will declare or they will pledge their investment visually, of which our summit is going to be more of a hybrid. It is going to be more of a hybrid summit. Please proceed. Now, I think I've touched on this one. I think the key part, when we met with our industrialists and our investors, these are the challenges, colleagues. Under the economic infrastructure development, that's number one. The poor infrastructure, that is your water, your energy, your road infrastructure, your rail, and the movement when it comes to the rail. And we're saying that one of the things I think the MEO has touched that it's an exclusive policy. If there's a load shedding, my mayor, at Nokukijima, load shedding when it comes to industrial park. So we need to come up with what we call an exclusive policy. That will make sure that whatever is happening comes to the issues around the electricity. But when it comes to the industrialists there, let's make sure that really we have that. That means we must have a transformer focusing to the industrial park, is it right? Yes. Not sharing between the industrial park and Ezibeleni as an area. So first, I think there's a work that we're working with the Inokim Kichima around that one. And I think the role players in that space is there is a submission MEC we've made to National Treasurer around the budget facility infrastructure. I think they call it BFI. And because we pick it up that if you're going to revive the Oman Industrial Park, we're working very well with the TTIC and UTD, but I think there is a need of serious, massive investment towards that direction. And that application, I think it went up until to the Ministerial Budget Committee at a space level. So obviously there are some changes that we need to do regarding with that. In other words, your Transnet, CO, your port, your Central Energy Fund. We have a partnership with the Petro SA towards that direction, your DPSA and so on. So these are the partners will be coming towards our summit on the 13th and the 14th of July. And you have your Sandral. I think they are busy working with our engineers around the entry towards the park, whether they can do it through the N6 side, the N6 route, or somewhere around there. So we want really to make sure that we are dealing when it comes to that direction. Now, in working with some of the investors, we agreed with what we call the memorandum of intent to those ones who are going to expand. I know some of them really, your Creator, I think they want to do around the processing facility. Your Amaldelo, I think they also want to do that. Your renewable energy guys and others relating. So what we said, let's develop what we call a draft MOI, a memorandum of intent, because others really still need to deal with your feasibility studies and towards that direction. Please proceed. So after that, we can move this one. After that, colleagues, it's around the infrastructure towards production. Our irrigation system, I think Dr. Dad, they are doing something up with the DBSA towards that direction, especially focusing in your Ngocha, your Kamata, where you have about more than 5,000 hectares under irrigation to supply the processing. The work which we are doing around the Kongla and the Emalahleni, and the serious work we're doing about 16 farms at Kraydok. We used to call those farms as the sugar beet farms. There's a clear plan there that requires it's a BOQ that is about 120 million rand, and of the infrastructure, your center pivots really, making sure that really we can do a fodder bank, we can also do for about 1,700 hectares. We're working with the Department of Agriculture towards that direction and their chief engineers. Please proceed. And I think we have touched around your mining space and the challenges we're facing with. This one are more at a commodity level when you deal with the dairy component, the access to the land, the expansion, your Kraydok, your Crickleton, and your others, really, because I think the breakfast we had, I think can said something about if we can make sure that we can produce the milk to supply towards the processing. I think there were some those discussions around that direction. So there is, and you can see the partners, your Crickle Dairy, your Shiloh Dairy, Trust, your Ngocha the Trust, your Sandale, and your Amaldelo. This becomes your partners towards that. We'll have what we call a panelist towards the summit, purely going to focus into that commodity and to present really that's the work that they want to do. Please proceed. I think that's all good. Fresh produce, the work which we are doing, the work I think that has been funded by both the province, the district, and the national. It's quite a serious one. I think in the morning on the 13th, the executive mayor, the minister, and the MEC, they'll be launching that fresh produce packhouse. Our farmers have been struggling to take the tomatoes from Ondabetemba straight into the retail or to take the produce straight really, and they've been really having serious challenges. Then we met with one of the industry partners, which is the Farmwise. They're coming in as an operator to take a market share towards that, to give us a market share actually, because the production, it must be at a local level. And again, working with the executive mayor and the Department of Health, they said we can even supply the hospitals up to Elliot when it comes to fresh produce, but we must make sure that we are consistent. So the areas are working around your Klongla and your other areas really is to make sure that there's a consistent supply between the production and towards the pack house. So that's the work what we're busy doing. And please proceed. I'm not going to touch on the livestock and the partners. I think you have your Dave Osborne, others, your BKB, your Chris. There's quite a lot of partners really that we are trying to meet them one by one towards that direction. So when we're going to the Kashimba Apato, when we're going towards that direction, all those partners really will be coming on board so that we have currently invested but want to expand or want to partner with you towards that direction. Your grain commodity, if you see your AFGRI, your SAGRA, your grain SA, the trust, I think working with the NAMAC, they gave us so many trusts. The trust around the grain trust, I think they've committed some of the trusts, they've confirmed that they are coming. And colleagues, part of that fertilizer blending that, sorry, Minister, that they funded, is going to give us about 56,800 tons of the fertilizer. And it's not going to supply this region. I think working with your Jogabi, I think we're already working with your Waratambo, where they're looking for the warehouse, for the farmers on that direction, so that we know that at least we because as Adam has said, that the challenges that happen around you, Ukraine and so on, makes us ready to have a focus around your agri-input infrastructure between your fertilizer, your chemicals, and your so on. So I think the department came in handy towards that direction. So the sitting towards your Omnias, your AFRI, your SAGRA, will need really to sit down towards the summit and discussion towards that direction. Please proceed. I think, colleagues, that's all. And I think they've touched around your AIDC on the automotive hub. I think they're coming in. I think they also want to invest, the subsidiary of the CDC. So the day one and the day two. Day one of the summit in the morning, it will be the launch of the two. One is to be your agro-processing facility in the Community Industrial Park in the morning. I think the executive mayor will be leading the minister, the MECs will be around. And then again, on the same morning, they're also going to visit the VSL. I think those that I have that are dealing with the automotive space, we're going to go there into their plant. Then from there, we come straight into the actual building. Then the building, we have the speakers that are going to deal with your economic analysis, the analysts, and so on. Then after that, we go straight to the panelists. Then the panelist is going to have a convener of the panelists ready to deal with those industries. And then after that, they will have what we call the resolution of the summit, and the board chair and the executive mayor will declare those resolutions of the summit. And then again, you will announce what we call the post-summit advisory committee, or the post-investment advisory committee, which is going to ready to take the implementation of the summit going forward. That's, I think, I was trying to give the structure and the output, firstly from the breakfast, but also and so many sessions that we are having towards the actual. So that when we are within the summit, it's more really on confirming, you understand, the work which has been done throughout the process. Thank you so much. Yo, sorry, there is a website, guys. Where is the website? I think we have the website for the summit. Sorry, program director and the leadership. It's only 2 minutes, just to take through the website, so that when the investors, the partners must be able to register through the website and so on. Just open it. Thanks so much. I forgot. I think I was more focusing on the outcomes rather. Okay.
Should be loading.
Yeah, it's coming. Searching.
I think just open it.
I think we can just use that too.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have the website. This is the time to test it. Yeah, you test it on your phone. Go, go our site. I'll call it www because if I don't start with www, people won't type it right. Ne? Can you go to your internet and type www.chdinvestment summit is one word, chdinvestmentsummit.org.za. But keep that one, the CEO will present. Okay, thank you, no problem. Thank you. Okay, we'll take that part of the launch towards the end of the program. Because we want to make a hybrid kind of a program. Yes, it's good if you didn't get it. You know, when you're speaking English, you must speak English like English so that not everyone must hear you. I'll clarify it and explain it towards the end. Can we then, on the same tone, yeah, it's working, nah? But it's going to be launched official. It's there, it's working. Okay, let me then request Uniko. The program is moving now. We're on the stakeholders. This is the CEO of Crickly Dairy. Yeah. So, Crickly landing are we ready for? Because some people, when you talk that we have industries which are in action really, they think this is a story. You know, it's a journey by train. It's not a journey by train. There is economic activity that is taking place within our space. Actually, there are a lot, no, the acting director, Teteat. So let's get to the feel to see if there's an investor like Crickly whose life is going to be explained. Why can't others come? Yeah, because if, as Mark has said, we sail together in the problems, we can be able to give solutions. It then becomes a problem if there are complainers and the doers, if that is the right English. Because I sometimes have a poor English, you know. But if we are not complainers, we're all the planners, then we'll intervene together. And Mark, as Nico is opening the video. I don't want to delay. Come.
Thank you very much.
This is Mark Diachem.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. A special thanks to all the dignitaries, Honorable Minister, Honorable MEC, Honorable Mayors here from all the various municipalities and other dignitaries. Thank you very much. Thank you to the Queenstown business community also represented here today. And yeah, thank you for the opportunity to share a bit of our journey. I thought it's sometimes better you've listened the whole morning to people talk. I'm going to show you a short video. You can sit back, you can relax. I unfortunately didn't organize for popcorn. But please just have a look and I'll wrap up afterwards, just with a few words on our plans, what we're doing, and how do we see the future, and specifically our future in the Kumani Industrial Park.
Farmer, milking cows, involved in dairy all my life. Started Crickly Dairy in 1984. From very humble beginnings, one bakkie, 4 people, right from the start. We were intent on creating a team of people that could deliver at a very high standard and grow the company through difficult times. My farm was a very small farm, so in order to make it, I needed to add value to the products I produced. And therein came the idea of starting a dairy and selling the milk and adding value to the milk. It was a journey of entrepreneurship. It began from knowing very little, but you learn as you go along. And 35 plus years later, Crickley Dairy is a strong company with excellent values, producing the top quality products in the Eastern Cape. And we are immensely proud of everything that we do. And it is about pride. It is about commitment. It is about courage. It is about a journey of discovery, a journey of winning with people and growing people from all walks of life. And I just think that if I look at where Crickley is today, I'm very proud of what we've been able to achieve.
Our vision for Crickley Dairy is to become the regional dairy of choice. We're proudly Eastern Cape, and we're very proud of our roots in the Eastern Cape. We are committed to grow this business in the next few years to become a truly regional player with critical mass in all departments. We have a great production facility in Queenstown, and what we have done over the past few years is to put up depots across the region to assist with the distribution of our products. Crently, we've got depots in Kokstad, Umtata, East London, PE, and George to ensure that we can provide farm fresh Crickley on a daily basis to all our customers. Crickley has started a cheese processing facility in 2017. This has allowed us to make use of excess milk and to contract additional milk to ensure supply to all our customers. Our vision is to grow the cheese business efficiently to become a very strong player in cheese in South Africa, as we believe that cheese is the dairy product that we're actually able to distribute successfully over large distances. Crickley Dairy is always on the forefront of innovation. We're continually looking for methods to improve our production and to make it more profitable. We started years ago by introducing PET bottles for milk. We were the first dairy in South Africa to do that and to move away from the well-known HDPE plastic milk bottle that you still see on shelf today. Our bottle is therefore unique and is specifically purpose-built to be handled once and to be handled very effectively, as we don't need any crates to distribute our milk. Crickley has also invested in solar, and we believe in sustainable manufacturing by using solar to ensure that we contribute to sustainable manufacturing and the cost of electricity in South Africa.
Quality responsibility starts from the farm, ensuring that the farmers are compliant with the Crickley Dairy supplier quality assurance requirements by requesting TB and CA certificates, by filling in the supplier questionnaires, by requesting R638 certificates. Also ensuring that the tanker drivers are competent and trained to conduct tests to confirm if the milk is conforming.
One of the most forgotten about departments would definitely be the quality and compliance department at Crickley Dairy. We work behind the scenes to ensure that high quality and safe products are produced. The actual definition of quality would be the sum of attributes and properties that make up a product and that make it acceptable for the consumer. Examples of these would be flavor, color, consistency, and the overall appearance of the product.
Our employees are extremely important to us, and we try and showcase this through active participation in the Food Bev CETA learnership and internship programs. And I'm happy to report that we employed 100% of our unemployed learners and over 90% of our interns who participated on the 2020 program intake.
When it comes to the distribution of all our products that we do at Crickley, is all fresh products. and we need to get that fresh products out to the customers as soon as possible. Our aim is to get the products to our customers on time and in full, and also maintaining the cold chain. With fresh dairy products, I think the cold chain is one of the vital aspects of it, and making sure that we get the product to the customer and to the final consumer as fresh as possible.
We are passionate about what we do here. We believe that we need to produce quality products at a high standard at affordable prices to our consumers. We are fortunate to be surrounded with a great team that we work closely with in production, sales, and on the quality side. We believe that we need to look after our people, and the growth of them is very important to us. This helps us to improve quality on the line, making sure that we have more jobs available for people, and also making sure that we give lower costs to our consumer by doing this all in-house.
With a diverse product range, manufacturing equipment and other moving parts, we at Crickly pride ourselves in the development of our employees. Other than that, equally important is giving back to our community. As part of our responsibility in supporting the community, we give back to those in need, mostly in the form of product sponsorship, to support their daily nutrition. Our diverse basket allows memorable moments, from your toasted cheese sandwich as a lunchtime snack to decorating your delectable baked treats. Being there when magic memories are created. Cancer has touched the lives of many of us and is on the minds of people from all walks of life. By running the campaign, we aim to give a message of strength, hope, and encouragement to the warriors and survivors affected by the fight against cancer. At Crickly, we chose to pick pink. The Pick Pink campaign has run for the past 3 years, and we at Crickly plan to continue running this as our biggest yearly campaign, where a charity, as well as an individual warrior or family of a lost loved one, will receive financial support.
People are incredibly important to Crickly Dairy. We do not have a business if we don't have people. Loyal people, skilled people, and people that's prepared to go the extra mile here at Crickly Dairy. With this in mind, we are extremely proud to have employees that has been here for almost the length of Crickly Dairy. We celebrate our long service employees from 5 years on to 25 years. And may there be another 25 years.
We plan to, in future, make sure that our consumers get the best possible quality product at an affordable price and at the service that they require. We have open depots, and we are going to make sure that we outservice everybody else on the market and be the pride of the Eastern Cape. Crickly Dairy is very proud to be able to announce that we'll be installing a very sophisticated sliced cheese plant, and we've got a contract to supply one of the major fast food outlets with sliced cheese that will go throughout the country. And this is but one of the many projects that we have for the future of Crickly Dairy, and we will make sure that we continue to grow and expand our product range.
I was told to wrap up quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, just a peek into what is Crickly Dairy today. As Ken said, started in 1984 on a farm in Dordrecht, then moved to Indwe and started here in Queenstown in 1994. If we look over the years, in the last 5 years, we've grown from about 10 million litres a year to close on 40 million litres a year, with capacity to do around 65 million litres. Please put up these dairy farms. We need the milk. That's my message. We do not want to cart milk from Craddock, from East London, from PE, from all over the country. We want Queenstown milk. We've grown our business, and we've employed in the last 4 years over 120 people additional. She's watching me. And I think this is what we need to do in our environment for our economy, is give them a reason to live. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Okay,
it.
thank you. Nico, the stage. Nico must hold on. Something missing you didn't mention. You say how many people did you employ?
Additional 120.
Additional on what? Why is it? You can't add with a zero, man.
So in total, we've got 290 people in Crickley, and another 350.
Hang on, Nico. I want to prove something. Where did Crickley start?